That's all right.
3 strikes and drop. Welcome to our board meeting. And Mr. Weber, if we could have a roll call, please.
Mr. Demakia?
Yes.
Mr. Fallis?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Present.
Mr. Sturgill?
Yes.
Where did my little...
Pause for technical.
Mr. Sturgill?
Yes.
And Mr. Lambs?
Here.
Hold on one second, sir.
He does.
Is it working?
Don't touch it. Oh, he does?
Okay, everybody is here?
Yes.
Okay.
They're not.
And so we will have our pledge. If you would all stand, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It's time for the recognition of visitors. We will turn it over to Superintendent Tucker.
Tonight we have 2 visitors, but the first one I'd like to recognize is Diane Conabear. Diane's a longtime employee of Lorain, and she is leaving us in officially about 9 days, to take a position in central office in Cleveland area. But what we want to do is honor her, and I'd like to read this in recognition for her dedication and commitment to the students of Lorain through years of exceptional service, and especially for your careful guidance as principal in very delicate transitional periods in Lorain City Schools' primary level of education, presented by Lorain City Board of Education. In addition to that, those definitely, the transitions were something. We've got a very nice clock of recognition for her that we'd like to give her this evening. So, Diane, if you'd like to say anything.
I wrote down a little speech, only about 3 minutes. I've had some time on my hands, so I put some thoughts together, and I'd just like to say thank you and good evening. I'd like to thank the Lorain Board of Education for the last 14 years of employment and giving me the opportunity to serve as the high school principal for the past 6.5 years. Since the beginning of my teaching career in 1994, leadership roles have always intrigued me. Being a principal was always a dream and aspiration of mine. I love challenges and look for opportunities to challenge my ambitions to help and serve others. Lorain City Schools made this a reality for me. I never considered my work in Lorain a job. I have been very passionate about serving the Lorain community and deeply committed to the educational success of our students. The high school has endured some challenging circumstances during my tenure, and I would like to express my sincere appreciation and gratitude to the teachers and staff for their continued support. A successful merger and 2 moves in 2 years could not have been possible without their hard work, devotion, and care of our students. I have had the extraordinary opportunity to see 7 classes of students graduate from Lorain High. Giving students their diploma on graduation day has always been the ultimate payoff. But one of the most rewarding parts of my job is watching students grow from freshmen to seniors. I know some students will say I was too strict or a little too demanding at times, but my high expectations are driven by helping students be the best they can be and to help them grow as a person. Teaching good moral character, respect, and responsibility is as equally as important as teaching reading, writing, and arithmetic. Even though I'm a stickler for rules, and we've had a lot of good times and great fun together, and memories that I will never forget. While I am very excited about my new adventure at Polaris Career Center and look forward to another great opportunity to learn more and grow professionally, I will truly miss the staff and students at Lorain High, and there will always be a special place in my heart for the entire Lorain community. Lastly, I want my family to know how much I love them and have appreciated their support and sacrifices over the years. It is not always easy being the principal's kids, right, kids? And I know that my children understand the importance of my work in serving others. I hope that you too will pursue a career and opportunities in life that you are just as passionate about and as rewarding to you as Lorain Schools has been to me. Mr. Tucker and board members, thank you for the special invitation this evening in recognition of my work. It has been both an honor and privilege to serve the Lorain City School District. Thank you. Okay, I know. And the same to you.
I went through one transition. I can't imagine two. I just can't imagine it. Also, we have tonight our football coach that we hired earlier this year, and I'd like to introduce Coach McFarland.
I'm just grateful to be here. I'm here to show my support for Lorain City Schools, and what a great group of young men that I've been blessed to work with, students and athletes. I'm sorry I don't get to work with you, but we're excited, and we're taking Rashad Berry, who represents our school district, our community very well. We're taking him to Michigan State here next week. Great things are happening, but we're truly blessed with great kids. Everything that I've experienced has been awesome in the city of Lorain and Lorain High School. So I'm just here to support everybody. Thank you.
And before we go into the hearing of the public, I would first, again, thank you, Mrs. Conabear. It's been a real privilege to have you in a leadership position in this district. And Diane was part of the superintendent search committee, and just really been a part of the leadership of this district. It was very difficult. These were not easy transitions, and sometimes you're given orders that are difficult to follow because sometimes the orders are incomplete, or you don't add one and one and get two. But we thank you for doing the math with those, and the outcomes we're very proud of. Sometimes it's difficult to measure what you avoided, some of the accidents and things that didn't happen, but because of the leadership, we were just sometimes waiting for the bad news, right, guys? And like on the first day of school, and so what would happen is we wouldn't get the bad report, and that's because of a lot of work and a lot of energy, and thank you and your team. So again, this is very unique to Lorain, to any district, to have that kind of transition occur in that window of time, and you managed that brilliantly, and we were forever grateful to you for that. And if any other board members would like to have any comments, we wanted to make sure we took special time to recognize your work effort and contribution to the district. So, gentlemen, if you would like to express any.
Yeah, I just have one comment. And Diane spoke about service, and every time I saw you, whatever function you were doing, whether you're on the search committee or preparing for the graduation or interacting with it, I saw service just shout out at you. And I just want to say thank you for serving the students in Lorain City School District in the community. Thank you so much.
Well, Diane, I don't know if you remember this, but right after you were named principal and the schools merged, I said, and I say this to our football coach, now you both have the privilege of putting on your resume that you were principal of Lorain High School.
I'm very proud of that.
And you have done a super job. I think one of your students a year ago, in speaking at the graduation ceremony, summed it up pretty good when she said, "It's been real and it's been fun, but it hasn't been real fun." And you got us through that, and on behalf of our students who will always remember you, thank you.
I just want to say, again, thank you for everything that you've done. It is certainly sad to see you leave the district, as I had a great opportunity of teaching with you in another difficult situation over at Lorain Middle, which, another transition in this school district. And you're an educator that came up through our system, and you did a wonderful job as a teacher, and did an excellent job in a very challenged position as a principal. And again, we're forever grateful for all the hard work that you've done, and we will certainly miss you in this district. So again, as a board member and as a educator, I can't thank you enough for all the work that you've done for the school district. So thank you.
I just wanted to say I think that, after watching you over the years, and I did, I was there when you were at Admiral King and at Lorain High, and I know that that the joy comes in the children that you served, and I know that you did enjoy that.
Always love the kids.
And thank you, and best of luck in the future.
Yeah, good luck.
I really appreciate it.
And then lastly, before we go forward to the coach, welcome, formally, officially, Even though you've been formally and officially here, we're excited about the opportunities that you will bring to our young men in our district, and we're excited about the future. So however we can support our athletics, we are more than willing to do so. Although we're pretty good about staying out of the locker room. But whatever we can do to support, we're excited about the opportunities. We've heard lots of wonderful things, and we hope to hear more. So thank you.
And if I might, and I mentioned this to Dave earlier, I got a very complimentary email regarding you from all people in this world. It was your former Sunday school teacher,
Gloria Buxton.
Grandma Gloria. And that made me feel real good, because usually board members, if we hear anything at all, it's the opposite. So,
Well, I just want you to know who I am, and please come around and see our young student athletes. You'll be proud of them. Two-a-days are getting ready to start, but you're welcome in our locker room. You will be proud of the way the coaches treat the kids and the way your young men perform on that football field.
Thank you.
In the classroom.
Great, thank you. At this time, we would entertain our first hearing of the public. If there's anyone who would like to have comments for the board, we would allow you to come at this time. Any takers? All right. Is this your family?
Yes.
Who's here? Good mom. Great. At this time, may we have a motion for to approve the signed minutes from regular board meeting held on June 16th, 2014,
Motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
and the special meeting on Friday, June 27th.
Right.
Both.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Demakia?
Yes.
Mr. Sturgill?
Yes.
Mr. Fallis?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
I was not present on the 27th, so I abstain.
And Mr. Williams?
Yes. This time, gentlemen, is there any old business?
Well, I brought this up in the last two meetings, and that is, are we going to make any decisions as far as legal services, or are we just going to use the most appropriate attorney for whatever the purpose of the need for legal services is, and leave that up to the treasurer and the superintendent?
I'd say the outcome is going to be both. We have had discussion. There is a motion or recommendation that will be coming forward very, very soon. If anticipated this meeting, but there's a few more conversations to go on. We feel pretty good where we are.
Who is we?
As far as my discussions with the superintendent.
Okay.
So they'll make some recommendations to the board.
Okay,
And
fine.
formally, we will do a certain piece, but in actuality, at our annual meeting is when we really revisit.
Okay.
But yes, there has been some action on it.
Okay.
Any other old business, gentlemen? At this point in time, we would have the report and recommendations of the treasurer.
Yes, two items on the docket for this evening. The approval of the June 2014 financial reports. We had a preview of those back on June 27th. The best, or the key one there is the unencumbered balance at the end of last year was $753,810, which exceeded our forecast by about $730,000. That's a good news story. Item two is the standard purchase orders requiring board approval. And one thing, just as an FYI, we had mentioned back in mid-June about having an August 4th meeting with the Lorain Digital Academy Board of Directors. Are we still on target to do that?
We will kind of table that thought. We'll have a little bit more discussion among board members.
Okay.
And figure out how to best move forward with that meeting, what's going to
Okay.
be the most efficient and, so
Okay.
just hang tight on that. Don't cancel it.
Okay.
But you haven't initiated the invite, correct?
We have.
We have?
We
Okay.
have, yeah.
So we'll,
Yeah.
I actually was a little early for it. I was here at 5 o'clock today.
Yeah. You can hang on for 2
How'd that meeting go?
Not well, but
I
yeah.
wonder why you were here.
did you get a lot done? Did you violate sunshine law on that one?
I don't think so.
Got a lot of reading in.
Good for you.
Okay.
One of the things you might consider is, instead of having a separate meeting, if we decide to do this at all, just invite them and do it as in the work session of the regular meeting. Now we don't have to have two meetings, and something for you to think about.
That's what we're going to
That's
do.
what we're going to do.
Yeah.
That was what the plan was,
Yeah.
to invite them to our meeting.
It was going to be the
Well,
five.
but
a 5 p.m. on August 1st is a regular board meeting anyway, just an hour and a half early, that's all.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine.
Okay. So just item 1 and 2 for approval.
Motion to approve financial matters, items 1 and 2.
Support.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Fallis,
Yes.
Mr. Demakia,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Sturgill,
Yes.
and Mr. Williams.
Yes. And the superintendent report.
Personnel
Recommendations.
matters, item 1, A and B, these are resignations and retirements as listed for certified and support staff. Item 2, consideration of new appointments for administrative and support staff. You can see who we're replacing, the assistant principals for the annex in the high school. Mr. Williams was last year an assistant principal. He will be the principal for NBA because we are planning on doing some things with NBA in one more year, which he will be part of. The item C, OGT summer tutoring, which we're required to do every year for our students. Item D, that's a summer alternative CAS program. And item E, the curriculum writers funded out of Race to the Top. Item 3, supplemental contracts for the non-certified people, and item 4, supplemental contracts for certified people for those items come for the sports coming up. So I ask for approval of personnel matters A, item 1 through item 4.
Motion to approve items 1 through 4.
Second.
Discussion?
I have a question.
Okay.
You have Lawrence Navarro on there as the assistant band director. Is that correct?
That is correct.
He does music.
He actually started teaching in music, and he has been judging band contests pretty continually for the last 20, 25 years. He has a music degree. Lenny and I used to talk about that a lot. Yep.
I never knew that. I thought I was going to call you. I thought you made a mistake. He's also the building for sports. The building.
He's actually a pretty good tuba player, believe it or not.
Okay. I thought I didn't know that.
Too bad he can't dot the I and
With that, roll call.
Mr. Demakia,
Yes.
Mr. Sturgill,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Fallis,
Yes.
and Mr. Williams.
Yes.
Operation Matters B, 1 is the comprehensive business insurance, which is a renewal. Item 6 is our annual contract with the ESC for Cuyahoga County for our for our instruction, title funded. Item 7 is Searle, which is Title 2A, which is part of PD for the teachers this summer. Item 8 is Lorain County Community College. This is a 2A expense. This is part of our professional development for the summer. Item 9, consideration of a contract for National Museum of Women for the Arts. This is a Jennings Foundation grant that we received. Item 10, contract for Wilson Learning Services. This is our program in the lower grades, which is doing very well. Item 11 is our contract with Silver and Strong for services, and that's what we've been doing for the 3rd year now. Item 12, contract for Bayshore Counseling Services. That's an annual contract that there's no cost to the district. Item 13 is our Pearson services. There's also no cost for that one. Item 14 is North 2 for services delivered throughout the year. This is part of the technology with the ESC that we have, and we have the training. Item 15, approval of a contract with North Coast Council for services delivered. This is auxiliary funds. This is for St. Pete's that we just deliver, and that is the same for item 16, 17, and 18, 19, and 20. Those are all items for auxiliary funding that they choose, and it's all funded through the auxiliary funds, which they just make the choices. You have to approve them. Item 21 is a contract with the Urban League for the services as part of our Gear Up grant. Item 22, this is our annual contract for Lorain County Board of Mental Health. There's no cost on that one. Item 23 is for the banquet for the Lorain High School prom, and this is a general fund, or I mean a student activity fund expenditure. Item 24 is our contract with Edmonton for their services delivered this year. It's a Title I expenditure. This is for Steady Island. Item 25 is approval of a contract with Achieve 3000, which is part of our reading program. And item 26 is our contract with Lorain County Court of Common Pleas, and that's for our attendance matters. Item 27 is the approval of the authorizing of the license of Lorain City District name and colors for one particular group that we get money on. I have a sample of what they are going to do. So I have asked for approval of operation matters, items 5 through 27.
Motion to approve items 5 through 27, excluding item 8.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Support motion.
Any discussion, gentlemen?
I have a couple questions. On item 23, $30,000? Is that just a figure that's thrown out there, or?
That's for the whole prom, and that's probably includes dinner and everything else. They've been doing it, from what I understand, they've been doing it at Kalahari one year and this place in Westlake every other year. They raise the money themselves, and that's it's
Yeah,
not
I
our
realize
cost.
that. I guess things have went up since I graduated.
I asked the same question. It's
Also, on the item with the Lorain County Court System,
Mhm.
who exactly do they work with?
Who they work with? David Hall. They actually they work with every single district in this county except Lorain until last year when I brought them in. And what they do is these two folks work with our very difficult situations, and they have magistrates, and we are direct access to the courts, and we had incredible success in that almost every school hit their attendance rate. We had some at 95 and 96. They actually have a lot more power than we have, and they can go right to the homes and put some pressure on some of the parents to get some of those kids in there. We were the only district that did not use them up until this year.
Okay, thank you.
Let me say that at one time we did use them, Mr. Sturgill, and I was a guardian at Lytham at that time working with the courts, and everything Tom says is true. They have direct access to the prosecutor. They have direct access to the courts. They can put people in jail. They have the process of doing that. And when Dr. Morgan came in and changed things, I warned her then about canceling that program, but it was canceled. And believe me, it's something worthwhile. They're basically a liaison, right?
Yeah, and last year we because our attendance has been not as staggering as it should have been, we had 3. But this year, since we're up and running and we've made some improvements, we're going back to 2 because of
I've
our
seen the
financial things.
cost actually went down for this year.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
I was just curious as to how it actually worked.
I can have someone come in and do a presentation. They also work real hard with trying to get barriers out of the way for students to get to school. But there are some that there has to take legal action, and they cut through a lot of red tape, and they can really it's a lot different when someone comes from the court than when just someone comes from the school district.
Oh, yeah.
Tom,
Thank you.
Tom, just have a follow-up question. If for some reason there was a need for a third person, could we add that somewhere during the school system? Or do we have to make our commitment now for the next school year?
I think if we requested a third one, they could find someone, but it wouldn't be like tomorrow. They would have to go out, because this is an annual contract.
Okay, so this gives us some flexibility if we need it. Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion, gentlemen? Roll call, please.
This is the vote on items 5 through 27, excluding item 8. Mr. Demakia?
Yes.
Mr. Fowles?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Sturgill?
Yes.
And Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Recommend approval of item 8.
Second.
You got to do the...
Motion to approve item 8.
Okay, second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Fowles?
Yes.
Mr. Sturgill?
Yes.
Mr. Demakia?
Abstain,
And the reason why?
because I'm employed by Lorain County Community College.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
And Mr. Williams?
Yes. Item 20. Did we do item 28?
Nope.
And last, item 28, which is continuing on our process of revising our policies. And Mr. Smith here is going to tell you about some legislation that we're going to be doing a little bit more of it thanks to our legislature. But I ask for approval of item 28.
Motion to approve item 28.
Support.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Sturgill?
Yes.
Mr. Fellis?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Demakia?
Yes.
And Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Concludes my report and recommendations.
Thank you. Is there any new business for discussion, gentlemen? I anticipate that during these committee reports, we're going to hear about this new legislative piece from Mr. Smith. So let's go on to the reports and requests from board members, committee reports.
Yes, Mr. President, I have a report of the latest activities in Columbus. A total of 20 bills were passed in this 130th Ohio General Assembly. Part of them I've already reported on. These are the bills that have passed since my last report, which was the 7th of April. House Bill 171, authorized release time for religious instruction off school property. That allows students who wish to be part of a religious instruction program to be absent from school without being charged with an absence. It's a credit time to be somewhere else. It is the student's responsibility to provide transportation. It's also the student's responsibility to make up any assignments or anything that they missed by being at religious instruction. No public funds are used. It's just an excused absence. Let's see, where were we here? House Bill 264. You'll love that. This is one of Tom's favorites. We now are going to be more responsible for students with diabetes. Not quite sure what that all entails, but it has every part of problem written on it, in my opinion.
Yes, it does.
House Bill 289 requires contact with business owners in a joint economic development zone. I don't know, Mr. Weber, are we in any of those? Is that situation now, do you know?
I do not know, sir.
Okay. We may not be. And another fun one that will increase school liability, in my opinion. House Bill 296, school procurement of epinephrine auto injectors. Guess you'd have to keep those under lock and key. And House Bill 362, establishing community and charter STEM schools. STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and math. House Bill 483 deals with appropriations for the operation of state programs. House Bill 487 deals with educational provisions for students in grades K through 12. I attempted to log on to a webinar this afternoon. It was too late. All the spots were taken. This, I believe, deals with everything from K through third grade reading guarantee, college, or high school graduation.
College options plus.
Yes, so that's a new something. House Bill 492, authorization and conditions necessary to levy and administer taxes. I would assume that would fall in your area, Mr. Weber. And Senate Bill 287, also in your area, I believe, Uniform Depository Act for District Investments. And Senate Bill 310 deals with renewable energy and energy efficiency. A complete description of these legislative acts are available online. You can go through the OSBA website and access the full bills if you want to for yourself for an evening. I do believe Mr. Tucker will have the policy committee busy, because some of this will require new policies, some will require amended policies, and it always worries me when we get into the area of medications for students, the confidentiality that federal law requires in that area, as you're aware, and everyone involved in it, from the top, anybody. The federal law that requires that requires confidentiality is known as HIPAA, which stands for the Health Insurance Accountability and Portability Act, which was written to help people going between jobs so they don't lose their health insurance. And now it covers everything. It's typical government. It's what Ronald Reagan meant when he said, "I'm from the government, and I'm here to help." That concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. At this time, we would entertain our second hearing of the public. I anticipate no takers. Come on, don't. We have enough time for both of you. You don't have to fight about it. Well, thank you. This time, we would announce our next board meeting is
August 4th.
August 4th, 6:30 p.m. right here. And I need a motion to go into executive session for, someone help me, Mr. Weber or Mr. Tucker,
A, D.
for items A and D.
Which one under A?
1,
A1,
3,
3,
4,
4,
and 7.
7, and D.
Motion to go in executive session under items A, subsections 1, 3, 4, 7, and item D.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Fells?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Sturgill?
Yes.
Mr. Demakia?
Yes.
And Mr. Williams?
Yes, and we will have no items for action coming out of that, so our executive session will convene in this room here. So again, thank you to our guests for attending, and we'll hopefully see you all next time. Enjoy your evening.
This has been a production of Lorain City Schools TV 20 WLCS.
To purchase a high-quality copy of the program you just viewed, please call Lorain City Schools Television at 282-8400.